What's up, Panda Nation and Tesla fans? Alright, I'm going to try to say it Tesla, but for me, Tesla rolls off the tongue a little easier. I bought one of the Tesla, just kidding, just trolling you, the Tesla Supercharger Desktop Superchargers that you add your own cable to a little while ago, and kind of showed you a review on that. People were somewhat disappointed with that review, but whatever. So for you fans out there, you can get a little desktop charger. Now, if you go on eBay and various other sites, you can actually buy something like this, which is a 3D printed, kind of unauthorized, homemade Tesla charger, Supercharger 2. And I bought this, I picked it up on eBay, and I picked it up for about 15 or 16 bucks. So it was one of the cheapest ones out there. It's generally about 25 to 30 bucks for most of those people. And the official one is only like 45. So if you want the official one, I'm going to kind of say I think you should get that. We'll take a look at this. But I wanted to show you basically what the 3D printed ones look like. Kind of pros, cons, kind of my initial thoughts on my first experience here with the 3D printed material and device, as well as what I got with it, and then, I don't know, some waxings philosophical maybe in the end. So first of all, it came just like this. I just took it out of the box, and obviously I have a very long lightning cable, and I can't remember if they asked for that. I kind of think they did, but I'll be honest that in and of itself is probably a pretty good deal. I mean, it's looks a little longer than OEM. It's white, at least, so it kind of looks like that. And obviously the guy has sneaked it in through the opening here, and it's gone all the way up to the top, and then kind of hangs in the Tesla Supercharger slot up here, so it kind of looks like it. And he's got the spacing pretty close. You know, the cord hangs down a little bit. It would be black. It would be a little bit more true to kind of replicating an actual Tesla Supercharger. I will also say that the overall shape and size of it is about the same as the official one. So I think they may have scanned the kind of the desktop one that they've sent, because even the bottom here, the little cutout for the cord looks like about the same. And so that's what I kind of feel like. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that they did it in pieces very much like the official product. As you can see here, we have a seam because it was done like a top and a bottom, and then these sidebars are printed separately. It looks like they are inserted, if you can see there, into the base there, and so the base is printed separately. And you can even see that the letters, try to get in on it, are 3D printed, and the red plastic there is also appears to be a separate piece, and that makes some sense because you can't really change the colors on the fly. Now, one of the things I want to show you is that 3D printing, and I knew this was going to happen, you know, lays things down in layers, or at least kind of the plastic 3D printing that I'm kind of more familiar with, that's like a household printing. Some of the other ones, like the laser-based things, are a little bit different, but you can see here we get some lines very similar to what I would kind of equate to old dot matrix style printing. And this is where I think 3D printing generally is, it's a little bit in its infancy. It's a little bit analog in that, you know, it's laying down really thin layers of plastic. And so it's obvious that it's 3D printed if we're going to scan around it, right? There's, even on these bars, right, there's no doubt that they're 3D printed. This is just supposed to be kind of a rolled round bar on the side. And even down here you can kind of see it. It looks like it's kind of spun. Now, that's just the nature of it. I'm not dogging on it for that. But I think at some point in the future, and probably in the near future, 3D printing, even household 3D printing, is going to get so good, here's the reverse side, that it will look just like smooth plastic. And I know for higher end applications and certain prototyping, it does. But for, like I said, the kind of the retail side of it, this is what you would expect to get. Now, like I said, from a value perspective, it's pretty cool. And if you're a fan, I'll probably put this on my desk at work, where I don't really care if someone steals it, because it was pretty cheap and it's not a super precise look or kind of representation of the Tesla materials, but it's pretty good. And so my price issue is that you get this cord, which, you know, lightning cables are anywhere from like $5 to $10. So right off the bat, I feel like I've gotten my value in the cable. And then to print this whole thing, not including the plastic material, which is probably pretty cheap. I think it's like a plastic kind of wire. But then the time, the effort, the amount of energy that it takes to get in here, I'm just surprised at $15 that could be made. Now, I don't know if this guy was making any money on it, but you know, it's just actually a pretty nice little piece and some effort that went into it for that price point. Now, what I do want to show you here is I do kind of want to use it, and I'm hoping I don't destroy it, but I do want to take this apart because I want to rip it up and see what it looks like inside, and maybe if we can, I'm not sure if I can or not, or if this was kind of glued together, but I thought we'd give it a try, and if it's something that I break and can't use, well, hopefully my contribution by tearing it down to society is greater than the loss of the device here. But I can see here the bottom kind of wants to pull away, so I'm kind of yanking on it. Alright, so I'm kind of thinking this dude made this thing and super glued all the pieces together, because my promise to tear it apart is not going well, and that's kind of where I'm thinking now. So yeah, I'm not going to tear it apart, and that's probably why the cable had to be installed. So not only did he have to print all these pieces, he had to super glue them together, and he did. Pretty nice job. So there it is. This is a 3D printed Tesla Desktop Supercharger, which I'm going to use and look at and probably be the envy of my coworkers. I'll put a link to it in the description. You can probably pick these up online from all sorts of different places, but I think your experience will probably be pretty similar to mine. Peter Von Panda out.